Hello, folks.
Hello.
Hello. Hang on a second. I have a little thing I have to read to open our meeting, but here it is 7:02, so why don't we get started? So I am going to read the little preamble. Welcome, everyone. Can I gavel us in, Heather, or am I okay?
You're good.
I'm good? Okay. You look like you got some sun, Heather, by the way. Did you
Me?
get some sun? Yeah.
No, just self-tanner.
Next best thing.
All right, sorry. I'm going to stop talking. All right, so I'm just going to read this here. I'll put it over here. I'm calling the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Commission will review several continued public hearings this evening. There are three, actually. I think we have one continuance and two new public hearings, correct? And a little bit of additional business. Okay, but this is the Historic Districts Commission meeting of September 3rd, 2020. In accordance with the Commonwealth of Mass Executive Order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law, we're conducting the meeting online, obviously. To ensure public access, the public may access this call through telephone and video conferencing. Members of the public will have an opportunity to ask questions and provide public comment on applications and discussions following the petitioner's presentation and questions from the commission. To do so, please raise your hand in the participant function at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, you may raise your hand by dialing #9, but we'll also look around and see if anybody's waving. The host will unmute all microphones. I think Heather will do that. That seems like a good practice. And then following public comment, please mute yourself to just contain the background noise. I think video will be turned off by the host, other than the commissioners, Heather, and the current petitioners. And then once we have acted on an application, which we either will approve or disapprove or approve with comment or continue, the petitioner is free to leave the meeting. And we probably won't be sharing screens. So I'll ask for a motion. There'll be a second, and we'll roll call the vote. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So welcome, commissioners. Let me take a quick roll call. I'm just going to go in the order of my screen. Luis?
Present and accounted for.
Nia?
Present.
Melinda?
Here.
Abigail?
Here.
Catherine?
Present.
And Dennis?
Here.
All right, I think that's all of us. So we have a quorum, and I do so declare, as our town moderator says. I love saying that. So our first continued public hearing, 625 Lowell Road. Erica Santoro, I see Rich is on the line. And this is a certificate to repair and replace gutters, replace stairs, install railings, lighting, and a new weather vane. So Rich, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us again.
You bet.
And sorry, my wife cannot join. She's running late at work, so
that's okay.
It'll just be me.
Heather, would it be possible to put up the material just so we can look through? Pardon me. I think we continued this last time. There were a couple of, yes. Oh, look at that. There was a
We
drawing.
did. And so, yeah, so we were able to, and thank you for the patience in terms of us pulling this together. I did have an architect friend who, I know you guys had asked for a sketch for the side entrance in the entryway.
Beautiful.
And so one of my friends was able to kind of pull something together, but it wasn't as quickly as we hoped, but we were able to pull it together finally. Okay. So thank you.
Sure. Do you want to just walk us through it, if you would?
Sure. So we are wanting to rebuild the side staircase and add an overhang as well. This is where the barn meets the house. And so for a couple of reasons, I mean, the most are for safety currently. And I think our pictures for the current condition were in our application, but there is a very narrow staircase without handrails and without any protection from the elements. And so for pretty much safety and also more usability, we're looking to do something kind of very simple, as you can see here. something that would blend in and not be too distracting from the rest of the house. So we have a little better of an egress.
And Rich, may I just ask a quick question? Would the colors, I know the colors aren't all shown here, the door and shutters are currently green. Are they going to stay the same color?
Yes, very good question. Yes, they would. They would not be changed. This was just a quick, again, sketch in light of trying to get something visual for you to consider. But
Totally
yeah,
get it.
the elements of the colors would remain the same.
Dennis, you probably haven't seen this. Are you familiar with this property?
I drive by it constantly because I live on Strawberry Hill Road, so I see it all the time.
Oh, great.
All right, because there are some existing pictures that you might have seen them on the website. Okay, I think that was really the only outstanding question. I think we've seen the gutter samples. The light fixture I see is actually now under an overhang, which I think no longer needs to be dark sky compliant. Is that correct, Nia? You're sort of our lighting expert. And I don't know if there were other
So
questions.
if that's actually true, we may want to go back to so we did go back, and I think Erica, my wife, submitted a dark sky compliant lantern, though I think we would rather go back to the original one we submitted if the overhang now would not require us to have a dark sky compliant wall lantern.
I think that may be the case. Anybody on the commission want to counter my thoughts here? We're
I'm not
overhang.
up to speed yet.
Well, we're under the idea of dark skies is to reduce the throw up into the sky.
Yeah,
literally.
that I'm
So
familiar with.
if it's under a overhang,
I don't think that this would apply.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's under an overhang, then it negates the need for
dark sky.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, sorry. Yes, Dennis.
Are we asking questions now or waiting until the whole presentation? So.
Well, I was going to ask Rich, so you're presenting that new material, the sketches. The rest of the application is sort of as is, other than the light fixture.
Right.
So yeah, I think
it was as is. I think.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Go
Peter.
ahead.
I think you also may have had a question on the dimensions of the weather vane
Okay.
as well. I'm just trying to go through my notes here. Just want and it is 46 inches long with 22 inches deep. And we had previously submitted a picture of it.
Yes, with the horse, correct?
Correct.
I'm looking
you
at
know,
the
and it was a
material. There
horse
is.
barn.
Yeah.
Again, we thought it would be appropriate.
There it is. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I think that answers my questions. I mean, so Dennis, what we'll typically do at this point is kind of go around the circle. My initial reaction is the sketch is incredibly helpful. So thank you. I just have, and your builder will work it out. There are some sort of waterproofing details where the overhang meets the barn and so forth that you'll work out in the construction. But in concept, it looks pretty neat. So why don't I go around? Luis, you first.
Yeah, I have two quick questions. The first one is that I think that the design of the entrance, it's very nice. And I understand that there were some designs that were made in reaction to some codes that require that they would be a handrail and so forth. But the question that I have is why not extend that handrail to the other side of the stair and to the side that it's sort of open up with no protection? You see, it's a strictly aesthetics, you see, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, so I think we were trying to make it a little bit more, just less bulky, for lack of a better word, and a little bit more simple, just to try to have less mass there, to try to, we had arch, and so we wanted that to be the main attraction and this to be as little distraction as possible. And so that was the idea of having the one handrail. It is there for safety to come down, but then it doesn't also detract. And then I think with the extension, we were hoping to put like a planter or something over there just for decorative touch. So we had some, there's a little bit of volume, and also just to continue to the barn, it just felt like the right thing to do. But I mean, I'm also not not an
Well,
architect myself, so
you know,
and a designer, but
I follow exactly the rationale to make it a little airier and a little lighter. But on the other hand, the intervention that is being made in that structure, because as it stands, it's currently a very simple door with a stair, and now it's becoming, you know, an awning with a protected area and a light, etc. So I think that we are already way past the point of no return in
okay,
terms of making it a little heavier. So I don't think that you save anything. But this is just an observation that immediately came to
sure.
mind when I saw it. And I'm definitely not committed to it, and it's certainly not a requirement. I think it looks nice the way it is right now.
Sure. And would your suggestion be like, so to have another railing on the side and to not continue it through? I guess I'm trying to.
I would finish the whole thing. You see, just put rail in the other side of the stairs, and then a rail in the open area in the landing. See, so it becomes more finished. You know? I don't know.
Okay.
If I may, you may, Rich and Luis, there may be a residential code requirement for a certain height.
Yeah.
That may just
Yeah.
need fall protection. So you may just want to, and
Right.
21 inches may be under the limit. I don't know. You may just want to have your, yeah, go ahead.
I think the individual we consulted said that due to the height of the stairs, it wouldn't have any extra special requirements related to that, because it is actually it's not as it's fairly low from the exit of the door to the ground.
And a planter may do it. A planter may be just enough to discourage somebody who's had, you know,
from falling
glasses
over,
of wine
right?
from accidentally stepping off, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then I had a second question, which is the weather vane, which I understand that the subject of the horse has come up because there may be a horse farm at some point. But in general,
Sure.
my impression, and I will ask Dennis to either support me or falsify me. I don't see horses as common themes in weather vanes. You see?
Okay.
So, but it's just you know, if we're gonna make it right, then we may as well make it all the way right.
Sure.
You know.
So I will say our barn here was, I mean, my understanding of the history of the property was that it was owned by Theopolis Mason, who was the ice purveyor in Concord. He was actually he owned the ice business prior to, he sold it to Concord Ice, which is the existing business. And my understanding, although I'm not 100%, I haven't been able to go trace back with the library, is that he used to harvest ice off of Macomb Pond and other ponds in Acton and the surrounding area. And I believe that this was where he would store his horses. That would be the horse-drawn carriages that would deliver ice.
Makes
and
perfect
so
sense.
and actually I'm in the barn right now. You can actually see the old stalls that were for the horses. And so we just thought it would be fitting. I mean, we thought a weather vane would be a nice touch to the cupola. And so we thought, what a better animal to represent it than a horse.
I think that the historic context test passes with flying colors. So I think that's a very good reference, and I think it's perfectly fine.
Thanks.
All right, Luis, are you?
I'm done.
Cool
Thank
to
you.
move on? Nia. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Nia.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm absolutely fine with the arrangement of the steps and overhang as presented. I'm fine with the weather vane. I just wanted to clarify on the lantern. I appreciate now that it doesn't have to be dark sky, that you wanted to go back, and I'm forgetting what the light was that you wanted originally, that we said no because it wasn't dark sky. Just could you
Right.
remind me?
I think Heather may have the actual specs on it. It's very similar in style, I will say.
Yeah.
The other one was dark sky compliant. We tried to find one that would have dark sky compliant. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, then I'm totally fine. I'm sorry, I just couldn't remember back to that.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right. Thank you, Nia. Melinda.
I'm fine with everything. I have to say, I actually sort of like the guardrail on just one side. I think you're exactly right. It gets a little crowded when there are steps to have both. And having just put a new porch on myself with just one side, I know you don't have to have one for code.
Right.
So, but aesthetically, I think it's great there. Everything else is fine.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Dennis. I'm just going in order on this.
I was interested in Melinda's comment. You sure in something like that in front that meets code without a railing?
I have.
You mean
you don't have to have it on both sides. No, you do not have to have it on both sides. That's my understanding.
You don't have to have one in front. Heather, that meets code to not have one in front, a railing?
I don't know building code.
I think we just have to rely on the builder and
Okay.
the owner.
If it meets code, then I'm fine with it. I think a planter would be nice, but the only a couple other comments. One is that did you ever consider putting a light underneath the canopy, which we see a lot? I've seen a lot used that way. I actually like what you're proposing. Just didn't know if you had thought of that as an option.
I mean, we had thought about that. We just didn't want to overpower this. I mean, we did like the idea of a lantern on the side for not only just the visual and aesthetic appeal. We did consider it, but we didn't want to also light the space. We didn't think about it too deeply, honestly, but that was kind of the rationale. We figured we just needed something out there for safety. It's really dark in that corner, for people to come in and out, particularly in the winter and, in the dark at night.
Yeah, I know at least new buildings, you have to have one on every door. So, code wise. So I think it's fine. To answer Luis's question about the horse was the most popular weather vane design in the 19th century, which this is copying. As a matter of fact, my great grandfather was had a traveling lumber company in the winter in Maine, and he used a barn just like yours with a horse weather vane on it to store his horses and his lumbering equipment during the summer when he grew corn and tomatoes. So.
Oh wow! Impressive.
And so
That's
my brother has that horse weather vane because when he sold the farm, it was taken off. So it's the most popular. It was the most popular.
Oh, wow.
Wait, are you willing to
know.
sell that? Because Rich was looking for a weather.
I'm
We're
willing
in the
to sell
market, right?
Brother will like that.
I'm happy about the horse weather vane because that's my favorite subject. I have a whole collection
when you look out
of
there,
little
there
horses.
are witches, there are pigs. I mean, it's amazing what you can find out there, really.
And your horse is exactly the one that was used a lot in
Okay,
the 19th century.
great.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Catherine, any
So yes,
observations?
personal bias. I'm very much a fan of the horse weather vane, especially need historic context as well. And I agree with Melinda. I think actually having the railing just on one side, especially because I feel like it's well balanced with the lantern being on the right, is fine. I think it may actually end up being a little heavy-handed and perhaps feel a little cluttered if the railing were to extend all the way over, because I think it is a relatively small space in terms of the actual decking. Yeah. So I think it looks very good. I like it as planned.
Okay, thank you.
And Abigail.
I have no objections and no additional comments.
All right, Rich, I hate to say this, I am an architect, so I'm just going to add a couple of additional comments.
Sure, no problem.
One thought is, I don't know if you're going to want a gutter, and I don't know what the snow situation is over on that side, but if you ever get a heavy snow load, it'll slide, onto the stairs and ice and all that kind of stuff. So one consideration might be to pull it out a little further, the overhang, so that it covers the steps.
Yeah.
The other thing is the issue with the handrail on the steps is the width of the stair. and it's a grab issue. Like if you're walking up the right-hand side of the stairs and you trip, your natural instinct is to reach for a handrail, and if it's too far away, and I can't remember what the residential code is, the commercial code is like 32 inches. You're in danger of falling. So that's what the handrail thing is about. The guardrail thing is a separate issue. The guardrail on the porch itself, that just keeps people from accidentally falling off. But I would just recommend that you just look at that one more time. Maybe have your architect friend just do a quick research, and it really is more convenience and safety. So.
Okay, great.
But the gutter thing, I'm not so sure. You know, that may be a moot point too. It's not like.
Okay.
Anyway, that's
no.
Because you could do a downspout on the barn or something. Anyway, those are my comments, but nothing. And can you tell me what the decking material is going to be?
Right. So, I mean, I was talking a little bit about that. I think like because it's flush to the ground for the siding on the stairs, that would need to be a composite because the wood would rot. And I think we're going to do wood on the top. I don't know exactly what I mean, we haven't talked to the builder, but I would imagine that would be wood.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's. I'm just reading your application. It says wood in the style.
Yeah.
So I think
he did say though, like, because we didn't want to do anything in the line of like I know that lattice kind of material or anything like that. We wanted it to be kind of solid to mimic the you know siding of the house. Or I guess that's shingle, but to give it more of the barn, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, to give it a little bit more of a finished look without the lattice work, he said he would suggest for that material to be like a composite that's not wood, given the moisture and the bounce up and everything like that.
Yeah, our only concern with composites is either the shiny plastic stuff, which we don't recommend, or the super heavy wood grain, which never really looks quite like wood. You can get you can get nice stuff though that's easily paintable.
So our intent is certainly to make it look as much like wood as possible. In fact, that we were not happy that I mean, it makes sense to not use wood in that area, but you know, we would rather use wood. However, I think for the durability and longevity and the you know, the splashback and all of the moisture that it would take on, it sounds like it's not a great option.
Agreed. And the shingles will match the house shingles?
Yeah, we would use the same shingle style.
The only thing we may want to do, Heather, as a follow-up is just, Rich, if you wouldn't mind just listing all the materials as a follow-up and that the colors will match, because it'll have a green door to match the shutters and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we could do that, definitely.
Okay, other than that, I don't have any observations or questions. So if the commission is done commenting, I'm going to open it up to public comment. Is there any public comment on the proposed alterations to 625 Lowell Road? And I'm seeing a lot of silence. So I'm going to look for a motion from the commission.
I move that we approve the application of 625 Lowell Road to repair and replace gutters, replace stairs, install railings, install lighting, and a weather vane with a horse theme.
Sorry, point of order, Peter, for the record, who's a voting member?
That is a great question, Abigail. I think we have all 5 permanent members, correct? Luis, Nia, Melinda.
No, Paul isn't here.
I guess we don't.
Yeah.
Any preference among you all? Should we give Dennis the right to, why don't we have Dennis vote tonight since he's back for more fun?
Peter?
Okay.
Get some practice in for voting.
Nia.
Could we possibly add to the motion that if the design ends up being substantially different from what is presented tonight in terms of materials or design, that it be submitted for administrative review? I mean, I'm just, there's a number of things that are still not clarified, and I don't want the applicant to have to come back with a new application, but I think, you know, a set of eyes on it for final review might be prudent.
Okay, does that sound fair, Rich? I mean, basically a review
Yeah.
for record, if anything
That makes
substantial
sense
comes up.
perfectly.
Okay,
Thank you.
Fine.
All right, there's
Yeah,
a
no
motion
problem.
on the
Thank you.
table. I need a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Luis,
Aye.
Nia,
Aye.
Melinda,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Catherine,
Aye.
Abigail,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Rich, thank you, and
Oh,
good
thank
luck.
you.
Good luck getting
We
that done.
appreciate it. Thanks for
All
all
right.
of your time.
You bet.
Have a good
You're
night.
welcome.
Okay, talk to you soon. All right, moving right along, 255 Main Street. I see our friends from the Shattuck Architects are here. This is a certificate application to renovate the existing building and construct an addition, including replacing a door with a window, various door replacement repairs, relocating and replacing windows, changes to a deck, new exterior lighting and gutters, fencing, various hardscape and landscape improvements, and in-kind replacement of existing materials. Okay, so thank you for coming back. I think we mostly focused on the landscape with our comments the last time. Is that correct? But why don't you folks go ahead? I see who's here from the Shattuck Architects.
I am here, Lisa.
Hi,
Yeah,
Lisa.
and I'm here too, John Brook, but
Hi,
I
John.
can't, the video's not.
Okay.
coming
Lisa,
up.
do you want to run us through any updates for the application?
So Hillary Holdsworth is also here, and she's the
Hi, Hillary.
Hi. Designer. Heather, were you able to download that drawing? I apologize because I was having technical difficulties getting these drawings to Heather today.
Yes, I have it. Let me share screen.
I have existing and proposed elevations. I'm looking at the material as well. Mm-hmm.
Can everyone see that?
Aha. Yeah. Oh, it looks just like what Dennis was talking about last time.
Yeah. So what we've done is that we've basically followed a little bit of what Dennis was talking about, which is he had brought up the driveway, and I hadn't really thought about it before. And I think you're right. We should get rid of that asphalt and get that pea stone chip seal in there. It's incongruous with everything else we're doing, particularly if we're going to run pea stone. And then the other thing we're going to do is, instead of having the brick come off of that central brick walkway, we'd have pea stone running to the driveway and then to the back fence around the side. And I think for the most part, that is what at least I understood were things that people thought made sense, and they actually make sense to me also. So Hillary went ahead and has made those changes to these drawings.
And I think also, Heather, there were a couple of kind of model photographs that were there also.
Is that in the elevations drawing? No, that's different.
Not sure if Hillary's.
I'm here.
There you are.
Oh no, Heather. I was asking Heather if she got a few photographs that were sent. They were like little model photographs.
Is this the master landscape plan updated?
They're
Yes.
on the screen. Can you guys not see them?
Yeah.
No, we can just see the plan. The plan itself.
I'm having like internet problems.
That's because everybody in the United States is on a Zoom call right now.
Everybody in the world.
If Lisa or
What's up?
Hillary want to screen share, if you want to show it, because I have it pulled up on my screen. I don't know why you can't see it.
Okay, give me a second and I can let me go.
Have you put share screen abilities on, Heather?
That
you have to-
should be.
Okay.
Hillary, did I describe that correctly?
Yes, that sounded great, John.
You're hired.
We hire each other.
Let me try one more thing and see if this works.
Okay,
I wish I could make this work. But...
I think.
Well, I'm looking through the material on my
See it
own.
now?
there we go.
Oh, yeah.
wow,
Yes, there it is.
Okay.
Well, that gives you an idea somewhat in 3D, well, 2Ds of the 3D model of what it would look like. with the peat stone and the brick and the planting and etc.
Okay.
I hope that's helpful.
I think that's very helpful. I see there's some other material that was submitted. Is that right? The decking, some gutter details. Is that all new or was that here last?
No, this is
That's
just
not ours, I don't think.
Anything else we need to look at? Landscape plan, precedent images, photos and products. Okay. I think was everybody here on the site visit? I think Catherine, you might not have been there. Okay, we had sorry, you're muted there. We had a nice site visit a couple weeks back. All right, so let's go around and see if there are any questions remaining. Luis, I'm going to start with you again.
I don't have any objections, you see, but this is a setting by which the historic precedent has sort of play a second role to the fact that the house has evolved substantially over the years. So I think that what the commission in general was looking for was for some type of an equilibrium between the preserving the very old and paying homage to the very new. I don't have any objection to what I see right now, but you know, I'm willing to have my mind changed if somebody like Dennis or maybe Nia offer a very good argument for saying that this should be different from what it is. I like it the way it is, and I think that it's very nice.
Okay, thank you, Luis. Nia, I'm going to pick on you next, but you have to unmute yourself. There you go.
I'm challenged tonight with a recalcitrant puppy barking in the background, so please forgive me. I'm delighted to hear about the change in heart about the driveway. I think that's a great decision. Thank you. And I'm fine with the new arrangement for the front path. And forgive me, as I said, the puppy was barking. I don't know whether we discussed whether you mentioned the fences. That was one of our concerns at the last meeting, and the height of the fences and what you ended up deciding to.
So I ended up deciding, just agreeing with you to stick with what the ordinance is, or whatever it is, which is the 6 foot height.
Right. 6 foot down to 48 inches where it approaches the street.
Approaches the front.
Right. Okay. So it was 6 feet all the way around the sides, the back, and then just the 4 feet in that front area.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am fine with everything as presented tonight.
Thank you, Nia. Melinda, you're next.
I'm thrilled about the driveway. I think that's fantastic, and thank you for taking our suggestions. And I think all these drawings look wonderful now.
All right, thank you, Dennis. You're next.
Can I just say ditto? Is that enough?
You can say ditto.
I think it looks great. I think it's fabulous.
Well, thanks for bringing up the driveway, Dennis. I just hadn't even thought about it, to be honest with you.
Your mother would be happy.
Exactly. She's got a very long arm, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Dennis. Abigail?
I think it's an improvement all around. I think lowering the fence height is keeping with the guidelines, and then I think the driveway and the front walk is both in keeping with the guidelines and appropriate, and an improvement to the property.
Thank you. And Catherine?
So I did not have the advantage or the benefit of being able to get to the site visit of that day, but I have studied the drawings in full, and nothing jumped out. It looks very good to me.
All right, thank you. And I'm just going to say I look forward to the socially distanced cocktail party whenever it's
exactly.
on the new driveway. All right, so I think we've heard from all commissioners, so I'm going to open this up to public comment. Is there any public comment on the proposed work at 255 Main Street? I see nothing. I hear nothing. Heather, do you see any hands raised? I don't. So I would look for a motion, please, from the commission.
I move that we approve the,
No.
well, I guess we have to go through the whole thing, don't we? The back of the house and everything that's on the, we're not just approving the landscape plan, we're approving the whole thing.
That's right.
Actually.
We are, so
Well, I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I'll be happy to read it.
Well,
I can make the motion if you wish. I just read it off the.
Luis, yeah, fine, make the motion. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't do that.
I move that we approve the application of 255 Main Street to renovate the existing building and construct an addition, including replacing a door with window, various door repair, replacements, relocate and replace windows, changes to the deck, new exterior lighting and gutters, fencing, various hardscape and landscape improvements, and in-kind replacement of existing material and replacement of the asphalt driveway by a chip seal type of material.
So I'll second it then.
all right, thank you. And all in favor, I'm just going to go around. I have to do a roll call. Luis?
Aye.
Nia?
Aye.
Melinda?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Abigail?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. So it's a unanimous approval. John, Lisa, thank you. And
Thank
good
you.
luck with the construction.
Looking forward to
Absolutely.
Here to see it.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
folks,
for
you're
everybody's
free to go.
input.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Great.
Thank you for such
Take
a
care.
nice
Good night.
application. It's a beautiful
Bye-bye.
application.
Thank you.
Weekend.
You too.
All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. So that's our last continuance. We have a new public hearing at 69 Walden Street. And this is a certificate application to install a fence, a gate, and an arbor. And Nancy Van Sicklen, are you here? I see yes. I see your name, but I think you're muted. And this is a 6-foot board fence along the left property line. I don't know if we have, do you have the material easily viewable, Heather?
Yes, I'm just trying to get,
Yeah.
I've unmuted Elise and I've asked Nancy to unmute herself. So they should both.
There you go. I see you,
I
Nancy.
unmute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did either of you want me to start your video?
Sure.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it's up to you.
Whatever you'd like.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a video of the property.
No,
Like a
Oh,
movie.
it's a video of themselves.
Yeah.
All right. Elise, do you want to walk us through the
Yeah, basically, there's a site plan included. And the application is it's to fence in the backyard. There it is. So there is currently a fence on the left side that kind of blocks the parking lot on the other side. So the idea is to extend this fence. It's 6 feet tall, and there is a photo of it's a solid fence, and that will go to the back corner. And then when it turns the corner and goes along the rear property, that will be a picket fence 4 feet high, and then it will come back the right side, the same 4 foot high picket fence, and then it will go back to the house with a picket fence, and that's where there'll be an arbor. That there's also a photo included with the information, and it's basically the owners of Van Sicklens have 2 dogs, so it's to enclose the dogs, and also on the left side just to increase the privacy against the parking lot. So that's basically the application. It's going to be a wood fence, and they're going to paint it white.
I've never been in this backyard, which is probably a good thing.
There is, I just also included a photo of the front. There is a little picket fence along the front of the property. That is going to remain, and that is 3 feet high.
Okay. All right, I think I get the picture.
Which house is this? Is this the yellow, sort of creamy yellow one that was restored a number of years ago by
Yes,
the Hamilton?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Right. I think that the photo looking at the,
Yeah, so that one's the arbor, and that's the 4-foot high picket fence.
gotcha. Okay. All right. I think I get the picture. Why don't I go around and let's hear from the commissioner gallery here. Luis, I'm going to pick on you again first.
I don't really have many objections to this fence. You see, I thought at some point was had a silo effect, but I realized that it's not that high. So I think that it's okay. I don't have any comments. It's strange.
It's the full moon. Something's wrong.
Full moon.
Mia. Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to pick on Dennis for this one. So wake up, Dennis. I went to the house today, and I'm just trying to be sure that I'm picturing this all correctly. And you've got one style of picket fence along the front. That's a 3-foot one that we just saw in the photograph. And then there's going to be a different style picket fence that is still visible from the front and going down the side. And then a board fence. I'm just concerned about having different heights, different materials, different styles, all visible from the front. I don't have a problem with fencing in and the need for fencing for the dogs. I'm not quibbling about that. I'm just really concerned about the multiple styles.
I mean, there is already the board fence along the left.
No, yes. And
so that'll just
I'm less concerned about the board fence. I don't have a problem with it. I was just wanted to ask the other commissioners about the two different kinds of picket fence and both being visible and different heights, etc. Obviously, you need more than a 3-foot fence to keep a dog in. So I understand that. So that was my comment.
All right. Well, why don't we wait till the end and at least maybe you can comment afterwards. Is that all right, Nia?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to keep going around. Melinda.
So I'm having trouble envisioning this a little bit because the lower fence is in the back and the higher picket fence is in the front. Is that right?
No. So the higher fence is along the left side.
Yeah, that I know.
And there's the parking lot there. And the rest is the same height, the 4-foot high that goes around
the same height. Okay.
The back and the side. So really from the street, you see more the 4-foot high because that's kind of the driveway side there.
Yep.
So on the 3, kind of in the way when it connects back to the house, and it has to be 4 feet, just otherwise the dogs get out. So those are the 2 heights.
Okay.
And thank you, Melinda. And Dennis.
Good pickup, Nia. I assumed that the design of the picket fence would be consistent all the way around. So is there no reason why you couldn't match the front fence?
Nancy, I'm going to ask you. I think it was more of you like the other fence better. Is that right?
We like the other fence better. So is the question of matching the style or the height?
No, we know you have to have the 4 feet. I just think that if it isn't a huge problem, but front fence, which had some historic, I know that a lot of work was done by Martha Hamilton when she put that fence up to research it. So I would think it would be best to match that fence.
Yeah, I could take a look and see if we could match that fence. It was just
come as close as you can. The
come
rest
as
of it,
close as we can. Yeah, got it. With the same top. Yep.
Right, same detailing on it.
Mm-hmm. So you're asking to match? Yeah, and I don't know why we couldn't do that.
Is there, Elise, is there an issue there?
No, it was purely that they had liked the other one. The other one's a little more current,
Okay. All right, let me just finish asking commissioners. Abigail, any thoughts, comments?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I don't have an issue with the need to enclose or the height of the fence. I have the same comment that, you know, if we could have just two styles of fencing as opposed to multiple styles of fencing, I think that would be preferable. And I assume you can come close to matching what's already there.
Thank you. And Ms. Mast, any thoughts?
Agreed all around. When I was studying the drawings, that was the first thing that came to my mind as well. It's just the disparate styles. So I think if there is a way to just have the two styles and match, even if it's a foot difference, the picket fence style, that would be great and just more harmonious and unified.
All right, thank you, folks. Any questions about the arbor? The arbor seems very simple and straightforward to me. So I don't think this is a fairly straightforward application. The color will match. It's all white. I don't think there's anything else. So why don't I open it up to public comment? Is there, pardon me, any public comment on the fence project proposed for 69 Walden Street? There are two people in the public gallery. I see none of them raising their hands, so I'd look for a motion from the commission.
I move that we approve the application for 69 Walden Street to install a fence, gate, and arbor with the understanding that the 4-foot picket fence be changed to a style that matches the front picket, 3-foot picket fence as closely as possible.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Luis?
Aye.
Nia?
Aye.
Abigail?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
And Melinda?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. So thank you both. You're good to go. Good luck getting it built.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Look forward to seeing it.
Great house.
Thank
All right.
you. We love it.
Thank you,
Gorgeous.
folks.
Thank you.
All right, Elise and Nancy, you're free to go. All right, well, folks, I think that is that's our meeting, other than we have some other business. Is that right, Heather? We've had no late breaking applications?
Right. I believe Jeremy is here to present the other business item, which came in this week. The town is looking to install a ballot drop box at the townhouse.
Yes.
It'll be on a temporary basis just during elections for people to be able to drop off their at-home ballots. So
I'm not Jeremy.
you're not Jeremy. It's under Jeremy's name.
Sorry.
Hi, Kari.
I was running election trainings and I was using Jeremy's password to be able to try
Nice
to
to
record the results.
Thank you for being there on Tuesday. I felt like I was in good hands.
Well, good. Thank you for being there as well.
I was a ballot counter, everybody, on Tuesday, just so you know.
Oh, so I'll turn it over to Kari and let her present.
Thank you very much. So I'm before you today to ask for permission to temporarily place a courier box to be used as a ballot drop box during the presidential election season. Oh, thank you, Heather, for sharing. So the location, and I just put a piece of foam board down to show the size. It's 20 inches wide by 22 inches deep. It is 49 inches tall and 6 inches so you can see the top of it reaches out 6 inches as well. So we have two smaller drop boxes that were quickly attached to the handicap entrance sign because we had ballots coming in, and ballots will be pouring in for the presidential election, and we're concerned that that we're able to receive them, especially in light of not having the townhouse open. People want the confidence of knowing that when they drop their their ballot off, that it is received, it's securely delivered, and that we get it. There's also, you know, this online tracking that people do, and they are calling us if you know, their ballot tracking, if they know they put it in the Dropbox and it hasn't shown up, and so people are very concerned in this political climate.
So.
Yeah, and so alongside that request, and we just received the Dropbox today, the courier box, so you can see it in the townhouse. It's not huge. As far as visibility, it probably is taller than the shrubs that are there, but we actually want it to be visible during election season because people will walk around the townhouse looking for it. So alongside that request, we're also asking that a security camera be installed. And this is, sorry, let me just look at my notes. Detective Sergeant Jeffrey Young from Concord Police Department, he went over and took a look at possible locations that would be most effective for the placement of the security camera. And the arrow points to the space he suggested would be the best choice for one camera. If a second is to be installed, then Heather, if you don't mind just scrolling down, that could be located by the downspout, and they do have camera colors that actually match that stonework. And then a light would be installed there as well. What I don't know is whether it's an automatic light that goes on or whether it's a light that stays on. I don't know that detail. And I don't know what your preference would be. But having a camera there is just added security. People are concerned. They look to see, can someone reach in and grab my ballot out? You know, these are the questions that we get from voters. So this is trying to address that, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Kari. I have to say this would be the one time the commission would approve flashing neon. That would say vote here. Vote goes
You are
here.
correct, Peter.
Sorry, I shouldn't joke about that. Thank you. So can I ask a question? Is the concrete pad a preformed unit or a poured in place? I mean, we may need this ballot box for the rest of eternity, no matter what. So
right, and that's where. Thank you for bringing that up. The location of the ballot box in the area with the stones would allow us to cover the. I'm not sure whether it would. I'm guessing that it would be poured. I don't honestly know, though. I didn't have a chance to ask Ryan that question. He did think that it would be possible to pour it there or to place it there. But it could be covered with the stones when it's not in use, when we remove it and store it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be visible.
Why don't I go around? Luis, any comments?
I don't have any comments. I think that it should go there, and the only suggestion I would make is that you provide some free coffee and donuts, etc., for everyone that goes voting.
Absolutely.
Really? No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'll pitch in for some of it, at least, you know.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the box or the cameras. I just wondered, are the cameras also temporary or are those anticipated to be permanent?
They can be either. There isn't, I don't know of a plan for the townhouse to have permanent cameras. I'm not aware of that, but that doesn't mean there isn't a plan for it.
Right, I guess
we would remove them after the election if that was what you wanted us to do.
My concern was that you were unsure about the light fixture, whether it was, you know, just a motion detection thing or whether it was going to be on all the time. And I was just concerned about a light being up on the stonework being on all the time.
Okay.
But other than that, I have no concerns. I take you at your word that it would be removed promptly. box would be removed promptly,
Yes.
but it's absolutely
Yes.
needed. So I'm all in
Yeah.
favor of having it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nia. Melinda.
I'm fine with this.
All right, thank you, Dennis.
I'm fine with it. Only one question is out of curiosity. Does this box meet federal standards so there's no question about what goes into it and whether it's secure?
Well, I don't know. We
There's nothing to
have
do
an
with
advisory. No, we have an advisory from the State Elections Division. This is all happening very quickly. As far as federal guidelines, I don't know if there are any. People are using, library book drops and slots and doors of town halls. So it's just, we're scrambling, trying to figure out what will work. And they're flying off the shelves, these courier and ballot drop boxes. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dennis. Catherine.
Well, I think it's unquestionably necessary, so I have no objections at all.
And Abigail. Thank you, Catherine.
So I have no objections. I would note that I think it probably, from a practical standpoint, makes sense to allow the cameras and lights to be installed on a permanent basis, just because it's likely they'll need to be reused. I would put a caveat that the light be, initially I was going to say it should be motion censored, but if you have people looking for a ballot drop box from the street after dark, which it's going to be dark at a certain point soon, it might be difficult. So I would just put a caveat that the light needs to be turned off, disconnected post-election, so that it's not, we don't always have a light on there after November 3rd, and then if it needs to be used for the next election. I think that's a good solution to make it less labor intensive to install and uninstall and all of that. But my 3-year-old got a big kick out of being able to drop my in the box, so he'll be thrilled that he gets a second chance at that in November.
Excellent. Okay.
And thank you, Abigail. May I ask, Kari, if you could just follow up with some kind of a picture or a specification for the light fixture and the camera, just for the record. It may be a little dome camera, which may go away. My only question is weather tightness of the box. Is this rainproof?
It is an outdoor box.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I
just have one thing.
Yes, Heather.
I think if the security camera and the light are going to be permanent, we probably would need an application. It could come at any time, just like an after the fact, just so we have it in the record. And I know Stephen Crane in his emails asked if this could kind of be an approval for like all elections moving forward to be able to install, the light in the box and everything. And so I think if you're going to submit a formal application for the security light and camera, maybe just include the ballot box, and we can do a formal application that includes, every time there's an election, you're allowed to install the ballot box, you're allowed to have the light on at all times and the security camera on, or that sort of thing. So everything's just kind of by the book.
Okay, absolutely.
But like for this tonight, we're just discussing it's temporary for this election season.
Yeah.
So you could come back with the application at any point moving forward.
Okay.
Now, Heather, do we need a formal vote on this?
I had one more question.
Yes, Dennis.
Peter, is there adequate lighting for anybody who's going in that door as it is now?
There is a light. I don't know what constitutes
but right at
lighting.
the door. I don't think
right at the door.
There's one, exactly. Yeah.
So there is one at the door, so it has enough. Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of ambient light in that parking area from the building next door and all, but I can't say I've been there at night.
I mean, I don't mind having the light on. I agree with Abigail that it should be on a sensor, but I didn't know if there's an option where you can have it on a sensor while the box is there and the box is gone. You could just, not have it on a sensor, but when the box is gone, have it on a sensor to create more lighting when people are there, so it isn't on all the time, except for when the box is there. I don't know if that's an option.
Could be a time clock as well.
Yeah, I will look.
Okay, well, we'll leave that up to our election officials. And Heather, I think we do need a vote.
Yeah,
Do I
we
need
need a vote because it is for a temporary certificate of appropriateness at this
All
time.
right, so can I get a motion, since we have no one from the public here, for public comment?
Okay. I move that we approve a temporary we approve for 22 Monument Square, the townhouse, a temporary ballot box, as well as 2 security cameras and lights. Do I say old temporary for now until we get an application or not?
That's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you recommend, Heather?
That's what I would recommend, is that this is a temporary approval, and anything to remain permanently should come back as a formal application, just so everything's by the books.
Okay.
All right, I need a second.
I second.
Thank you, Luis. And now
Sorry.
all in favor. And Luis, I'm going to pick on you first. Dennis?
Yes.
Aye.
Melinda? Nia?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Abigail?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Thank you, Kari. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
All right, you're free to go. And I think Heather, on our agenda, we only had, I don't think we're going to talk about the historic district expansion, although you did post the material from Lincoln.
Yep, I posted the material from Lincoln. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to look over that. We've had some survey responses already. I've had 9 people respond in favor. 1 is a maybe and 0 no's so far. So we're still waiting on like 11 people to respond. And I did give a deadline of September 18th or something.
Okay.
I've done it for before your next meeting, but maybe by the time the next meeting rolls around, we'll have the majority of the responses by then, and we can have more of a discussion.
Terrific. So I would recommend people look at that material. And then I think we have 1 draft minutes from the, what date? I don't have them right in front of me.
I think we have the July 2nd, and I think we also have the August 20th.
And Luis, have you had a chance to, oh, sorry, Nia.
Sorry.
Nia, have you had a chance to look at those?
I've looked. I had, steal yourself, 1 typo on the 2nd of July ones. Shocking. And I had no problem with the August 20.
Okay.
But I would appreciate, I don't want to be the only person to have read these minutes.
Actually, I did look at the minutes and I missed the typo, but I found some misalignment in the columns where it appears that the permanent members and the associate members are in the same column. So it's a very minor thing, but it certainly should not be printed like that.
Mine were perfect.
Other than that, no
well,
problem.
Maybe, Luis, if you would either send your comments to Heather.
Sure, I'll send it to Heather. It's just a matter of...
I can see what he's talking about. When it got changed over to a PDF, when I uploaded it, it just kind of changed the formatting.
Okay, then...
The document, it's fine.
Because I couldn't find anything wrong with any of them, except that.
I speed read the minutes, so I have to say, Nia, I wasn't as careful as I could be, but I think I trust you implicitly. So I would look, and then we had a site visit minutes, which were about as short as you can get. That was the one where the alignment issue happened, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think I would look for a motion to approve these minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from July 2nd and August 6th, 2020.
20th.
August 20th.
20th, sorry. August 20th.
Site visit and, all right.
And the site visits.
A second for that?
I second.
All right, all in favor? Luis?
Aye.
Dennis?
I can only vote on one because I wasn't here for the other, but
Okay.
well, yes.
Abigail?
Yep.
Melinda?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Nia?
Yep.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Nia, for guiding us through those.
Can I just say, Heather, on the July 2 minutes, the typos, page 4, second line, it says R-A-R-E, and it should be area.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
All right, I don't think there's any further business, correct? Heather, we left everything else off. So I know this was the most fun Zoom meeting you've all had all week, but we've got to bring it to a close. We try to keep things lively. All right, well, thank you all. So we meet again on the 17th, right? 2
Yes.
weeks.
Yes.
And anything we should get ready for then, Heather? Oh, the one thing I did want to mention is you got an email, our intern from planning did a very nice little document. I think you should all take a look at it. Sustainability in the historic district. It's a nice little summary. And it's a reminder that it's a good idea to reach out to other boards and commissions and officials in town to work side by side. And one other thing, I attended the first library parking discussion.
What was that?
With the Disabilities Commission. The library is proposing a couple of different options, 5 different options. If you can go to the next one, I would recommend going. There weren't many people there at all. Ned Perry registered his dismay at that, which he was right. There wasn't enough time. So I think the next one is on the 13th. No, I'm doing that wrong, Heather. When is the next calendar. One? Hold on. It's Monday the 14th at 3 p.m. Yeah. If you can make it, I would recommend. You can also go to I think you can go to the library website and see these options, but they're basically scaling back. They're going to 2 spaces, putting more. It's a hybrid solution. So there's more landscape buffering the addition, and the parking area is smaller, but you should just take a look at them, at those solutions. Anything else on people's minds? I'm sure
Our meeting is next weekend. So
Sunday the 13th. Yeah. Be there, be square. I'll be there. And we don't have any, the one thing that referred to us was withdrawn, the one article. And although the community preservation article, I think, is that moved on to the consent calendar, but it'd be good to get support because those are some nice projects, I think, we're voting money for. So with that, unless anyone has anything else, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I second it.
And I'll just take a hand vote. All in favor? Everybody wants to adjourn. All right, nice to see you all. Thank you. And Heather, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And we'll be in touch.
Have a nice week.
See you soon.
We'll be in touch.
Yes.